Welcome to the first edition of Lady Senator Softball here on West Washington live stream and on WW Senator Radio. We are broadcasting the scrimmage today between the Lady Senators and the Pekin Musketeers, who have come over for the scrimmage that we are having. Today I have a wonderful broadcast partner for the scrimmage. It's Titan Williams, who is a student in my class who was gracious enough to join in and help broadcast the first softball scrimmage of the year, first softball action of the year. So Titan, what are you looking for out of the softball game today? What are you hoping to see?
Well, a high-scoring game, because high-scoring games are always the best games, and just some good plays.
Well, I got some news for you, Titan. They're not keeping score today, so you won't be able to tell if it's a high-scoring game or not. But I'm sure there's going to be plenty of runs come across the plate there. The format for today is a little different than a normal game that we normally broadcast. They're going to send 10 batters to the plate in each inning, and then they're also going to have to lay down 2 bunts per inning. So those of you watching at home, definitely keep that in mind, that it is something that they have to do. They do have to try 2 bunts, attempting at 2 bunts, trying to get some situational things going for both teams. So that's something different. Also, the pitchers, they can only face 15 batters. So that's another thing that you're gonna see kind of different. We're not going to see somebody throw to all the girls. We're going to see different pitchers, different situations going on. So kind of a neat setup for those girls to be able to see where they are defensively and offensively against some live pitching that's not from their team. We're probably a few minutes away from the start of the game. Eastern is getting their final warm-ups in. They will be the visiting team on the scoreboard, which really isn't going to matter a whole lot because of the fact that they're not keeping score. But we will have the scoreboard on the screen for you so that you can track the balls and strikes out there. They are running that so that you can keep track of those. We'll announce them also, but definitely give you a heads up out there on the screen so that you can see those.
They're also going to be putting the batter number will be on the screen.
Oh, okay. There.
When you see that come up, that'll be the number of the hitter.
Gotcha. Claude Combs is up here with us also. He's informing us that the batter number is going to be the one that they put on the scoreboard out there. So that won't be runs. That'll be the batter number, so that it'll help us definitely keep track of who's who out there. Titan's got a lineup sitting in front of him with some players on it, but it's definitely not 100% complete, and it's not the easiest to follow along and to read, because he gets to try to read some of my chicken scratches over there also. So Titan, give us a rundown of the West Washington players. Do you have that sheet in front of you over there? Can you call off some of those names for us?
Okay, so there's Sam.
I believe it's Chonier.
There's Nicole Pittman, Alexa Combs, Tilly Gilbert, Ashton Mercer, Gracie Hadley, Kylie King, Elizabeth Walls, Tori Bolton, Cora Miller, Gracie Abels, Destiny Neefus, Elizabeth Holes, Mariana Santiago, Taylor Fouch, Cassidy Keltner, Alexis Brown, Carly Huff, and Gabriella Adorno.
And you did a wonderful job of pronouncing all those names. That's why I had you do that one first, give you the chance to butcher them first, so that then when somebody's mom emails me and says, hey, you pronounced my kid's name wrong, I can say, well, Titan did it first. I just followed his lead. Coming back from a great season last year, these Lady Senators were 13-8, but they were 6-0 in conference play. Did bring home the conference championship. They did bat .320 as a team, which is fairly good for a softball team to bat .320 overall as a whole team in all the games that they play. This stat really jumped out at me. They were 34 of 35 on the stolen bases, so they only got thrown out one time, and I believe that was Taylor Fouch who got thrown out. And I definitely remember that. It was during the Trinity Lutheran game, and it was a hit and run, and Cassidy Keltner swung and missed. So she got thrown out on a ball that was supposed to be put in play. So I remember that one. They did have 130 RBIs as a team, 42 doubles, 9 triples, and 4 home runs. They did graduate some players that are going to make it a little different. We're not going to see Casey Kalin on the mound today, who we've kind of grown accustomed to. In the past couple of years, she threw quite a few innings. Last year, 76 to be exact. And she only gave up 69 hits and had 84 Ks in those, 76 innings. So it's one of those that she definitely was a stud out there on the mound. But the good news is Cora Miller is back, who was another one of our pitchers, and we actually have more pitching this year than we did last year. The freshman group that is coming in is loaded with pitchers and loaded with talent. So we did graduate quite a few, but we do have new girls coming in as freshmen who definitely can throw the ball and are quality softball players.
Yeah, there are 8 freshmen on the team.
eight freshmen on the team, and all of them have lots of softball experience. So Claude says that we are starting 4 freshmen on the team, which is one of those that you don't see a whole lot, where you have 4 freshmen starting on a varsity softball team. The 2 coaches are coming out to home plate so that they can talk just a little bit, kind of make sure they're both straight on the format of today. Don't want any confusion on what's supposed to be happening and what's going to happen. So definitely an interesting situation. This is the first softball scrimmage that I've ever done. So Titan, have you ever done a softball scrimmage?
No.
So we're both rookies at this one.
Yeah.
Claude says he's a rookie on the softball scrimmage also. So our girls are going to be in the field first, starting a different lineup than we've seen in the past. One big move that is happening this year, Cassidy Keltner, who was our starting center fielder last year, is going to come in and play second base, which moves E. Halls out into center field. She was our second baseman, so she moves out there. And then A.J. Combs is going to be our third baseman, who is going to have some big shoes to fill there, because Rye Watson was a brick wall over there trying to stop balls, and A.J. gets to try to fill those shoes. Another freshman starting in the infield, Gracie Abels, is at first. Kind of a dual threat there. Not only does she play first, but she also pitches. So kind of an interesting situation, and we'll run down the whole starting lineup once we get the girls on the field. But it's definitely a lineup with some great defense. They can definitely play defense, and no doubt that all the girls in the lineup this year can hit the ball, and a lot of them can hit the ball a ton. So could be a real interesting year for the girls. Titan, you think we're going to see any hit out today?
Well, with 4 last year, most likely no, but you never know. There could be one.
So I think we may see one put out today. I kind of have a feeling that somebody's going to get a hold of one and just drive one out there. So we've got some Senator softball fans sitting out in the center field bleachers. They might get a home run ball hit out there to them.
Yeah, that would be pretty nice.
Playing second base and batting second will be Cassidy Keltner.
So the Lady Senators are taking the field. Taylor Fouch goes out to shortstop. Cassidy Keltner comes out to second base. Tilly Gilbert is going to be behind the plate catching. Gracie Abels, like I said, is at first base.
And playing third base will be number 3, A.J. Combs.
A.J. Combs going out to third base. Another one of those talented freshmen that we talked about earlier.
11,
Cora Miller going to be on the mound first. We're going to see 4 different pitchers, actually 5 different pitchers today for the Senators.
Batting 8 will be the right fielder, number 13.
Alexis Brown is going to be out in left field. Destiny Neefus is going to be in right field.
Batting 9.
Elizabeth Halls
And playing
going to be out in center field. And then our DH for the day is Tori Bolton, at least for the first inning. She's our DH. So lots of lineup movement around that we're going to see from the Senators today. They're going to be kind of all over the place. We're going to see girls play multiple spots. Yeah, every inning we're going to see some different girls coming out and playing in different spots. Looks like the Musketeers are going to start off with number 19, going to be the first batter, which is Dallas Roberts. She plays third for them, so she's going to be their leadoff. Cora's taking her warm-up pitches here. Like I said, the rules for the Scrimmage Titan, she's going to face all 10 batters, no matter whether they get 5 outs, 6 outs, 9 outs, 10 outs. It's not going to make a difference. She's going to face all 10 batters.
They will leave these they'll start over on outs, but they'll leave the players out there.
Right. The girls are going to stay on the field. So even if they get if they get a single and then get thrown out at second, they're going to leave them out there so that you can get some situational softball going. So. Oh, okay.
Batting first for the Musketeers, number 5, Dallas Roberts. On deck, number 00, Samantha Gilstrap.
So, first batter of the year for the Scrimmage, Dallas Roberts up. First pitch delivered is a ball high.
Another high ball.
Another high one. I was talking earlier, Cora is more of a ground ball pitcher. She usually keeps the ball low, so it's kind of weird for her to miss high. There's her first strike of the year. Dallas Roberts swings right through that one. Steps back in.
Another high one.
That one's outside and high. Good to be a scrimmage, kind of get some of those first game jitters out. I'm sure all the girls are nervous. It's the first time they've been on the field. First time they've been on the field this year with another team. So Dallas Roberts does draw a walk for the
Angel Campbell, number 6.
Samantha Gilstrap steps in. Drops down a bunt. AJ fields the ball. Throws out at first to Cassidy Keltner. Got to have somebody covering third over there. So that's part of the rules, Titan. You remember the rules? How many people have to bunt an inning?
Yeah, 2.
2. So there's one that's going to bunt. Up next is the shortstop, Angel Campbell. First delivery, nice rolling ball to Gracie. Gracie fields it, throws across the diamond to AJ. AJ digs it out of the dirt, keeps it in front of her. That's one of those I'm not sure Coach Long really wanted Gracie to throw that one all the way across the diamond when she was already there. So ball high from Cora. Dallas Roberts on third base.
Batting for the
Foul ball.
Musketeers, number 2, Katie Quinlan. On deck is number 3, Haley Rankin.
We may have some numbers mixed up here. Another ball high. Cora last year had a 1.44 ERA in her 58 innings. Ball to Cassidy Keltner, who throws to Gracie across the field
That will be the
to get an
third
out.
Now we will continue to go on and start with no outs.
So even though that was the third out, the Lady Musketeers do get to continue to bat.
And she went.
Cassidy Keltner threw out
Eyeball.
Batting is number 28, Haley Rankin.
Haley Rankin up. There's a strike delivered there. There's a nice pitch right down the inside part of the plate from Cora Miller.
2 strikes now.
Cora only gave up 53 hits in her 61 innings last year, but only had 11 bases on balls. So, definitely a player who is around the strike zone the whole time.
Another high pitch there.
Yeah, Claude says she's trying to throw a rise, and the way it's coming out of her hand, that's the way it looks. That she's trying to throw a rise. There's another nice pitch for a strikeout.
Batting will be number 1, Grace Rogers.
Grace Rogers steps up to the plate. She is going to pitch the first inning for the Musketeers.
Strike 1.
Strike 1, swung through that one.
You can see she keeps that ball down. I think when she's trying to throw that rise ball,
That looked really nice over the outside part of the plate. Didn't get the call from the umpire, but still was a fairly nice pitch. There's one straight back.
Foul ball.
Grace Rogers just got the bottom half of that ball till he's going to rub it off on her pants a little bit and then get it back out to Cora. We've got a mystery door opener back there. There's a foul ball straight down. Tilly takes that off her, be her left arm. Hanging tough in there. There's one
Another
inside
foul ball.
right back at us, Titan. You should have caught that one. You can get your fielding practice up here. You can just bring a glove and you can catch them and tell your dad you don't have to practice.
Yeah.
You think he'd go for that?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Is Dad the coach?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking about it earlier, weren't we, Titan? That Dad was coaching you this year.
Yeah.
Cora Miller set to deliver again. That ball's inside. Tilly can't quite dig that one out of the dirt. So it gets by her. Luckily, nobody on base. Tilly changed up the ball there for Cora so that she can get a new ball out there. Inside off the hands. Grace Rogers here really fighting with Cora, not giving her any easy outs and keeps fouling these balls off.
That's 3 foul balls?
Yeah.
Another foul ball.
Number 4. Grace Rogers steps back in. with the delivery. Ball inside. Going to be 4, so she's going to draw a walk.
I'll bring up number 22, Skylar
Brings
Steffen,
up the left fielder,
left fielder.
Skylar Steffen. Ball in the
Whoa.
dirt. Tilly digs that one out very nicely.
Pop up.
There's a chop swing, trying to get one either driven down into the ground or popped up over the infielder's head. Gracie Abels takes off after it, but is unable to get to it. This is the 7th batter of the first inning, so turn to
There's the
lay a
bunt.
bunt down. AJ fields it,
Ooh.
decides to go to second with it.
And
Gonna end up getting
Out
the
at
out
third.
at third. So that's kind of an interesting play there. AJ makes the decision to go to second instead of getting the out at first. Is unable to get the out at second, but the runner goes ahead and continues on to third, and then I believe, was that Halls out there that threw that ball from center
Yeah.
to so
center field.
so E ended up throwing the girl out at third to Cora Miller. So that's definitely an interesting
Musketeers will be number 7,
bookkeeping
Carrie
stat
Hope.
there. That's a mess on the book.
There's 2 outs.
Coach Long comes out and is talking to his players, getting them straightened back out. I'm sure he's talking probably to AJ about, once you come up and you decide you're going to throw it, you gotta throw it. You can't hold the ball, and that's where she kind of double thought about what she was supposed to do there. So Titan's getting harassed by Coach Bousman, who comes up and was talking to him. So
A strike. Throw over to first.
very nice play there. Gracie snags that one and puts the tag on, but it's just a little bit too late. So this is Carrie Hoke in the batter's box.
Good pitch.
Stealing,
And ooh.
gonna be safe under the tag. Not the prettiest slide, but it got her there. So gave Tilly the chance to show off that arm. It wasn't a great pitch to throw on. So so we do have a stolen base there.
Ooh, strike 3.
Gonna be a strike 3, called strike 3. So I've got that as 2 strikeouts now for Cora. No outs. This is the 8th batter, and we do have 1 runner on second base. I think that was the 3rd, and they reset the.
Batting is number 4, Carrie Hope.
There's a nice pitch from Cora.
0-2 count.
There's one off the hand.
Foul ball.
Drives that one back towards the fence. There's a
Strike
swing and a miss, strike 3. So that's 3 strikeouts in the inning. Up next, I believe this
Batting
is the last batter of the inning.
Brooklyn
Yeah.
Casey, the right fielder.
I believe this is Shelby Casey, the DH. I believe this is the last batter. Yeah, I think. Titan, can you see your number over there? Number 1.
Yeah.
Yep, last batter. So
Shelby Casey is batting.
swings at the first one, unable to connect on that one. 3. There's a swing and a miss at another one. Probably a ball there. Definitely looks like Shelby Casey is not super comfortable up there in the batter's box, being that it's a freshman and it's her first varsity experience. There's strike 3.
That's 4 strikeouts.
4 strikeouts in the inning for Cora Miller. So that's a nice job by her. We're going to step aside, take a short break, hear a message from the IHSAA, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Honey, isn't it amazing?
What?
The sacrifice, the dedication, the grit. I mean, they really set an example, don't they?
Oh, well, no question. Today's high school athletes are truly special.
Not the athletes.
Well, who?
The officials.
Oh.
Today's student athletes are truly special. But there's something pretty great about the men and women who officiate their games, too. Like the way they're giving back to their communities. Officiating is a terrific way to stay in shape, meet new people, and stay connected to the game you love. But the biggest reason of all? We need more qualified high school officials here in Indiana. And without them, the rest of us would have a whole lot less to cheer about. High school games need officials. High school sports need you.
Great call, Rob.
Yeah.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
Back live to Lady Senator softball action here at the West Washington Softball Complex. We've got a nice scrimmage going on today between the Lady Senators and the Pekin Musketeers. Once again, it is kind of an interesting format. You do send 10 batters. No matter how many outs you get, you do have to have 2 players bunt, no matter what. Titan, I've got the I actually have it marked who's going to bunt, so I actually know ahead of time. So you get to act surprised. I get to act like I already knew it. So it's not exactly fair, but we'll let you be the one to be surprised by that. And actually, one of them I talked to in the hallway today, and I said, please tell me you're going to bunt right off the bat. And she said she didn't know, but she had a feeling that she was going to get to swing away the first couple of times through the lineup. So Claude's trying to give it away, and I'm not going to tell. He's trying to give it away on who's going to be our one to bunt, and I'm not going to tell.
I don't know. My guess when you said she thought she was going to swing away the first couple of times.
So the Musketeers are pitching Grace Rogers, sorry. She did have some pitching last year, I believe. Looking through our papers. Titan, do you see her on there for pitching at all?
First inning will be number 18, Taylor Fouch. On deck will be 19, Cassidy Keltner.
I believe she was their freshman pitcher last year.
She's a sophomore.
Yep, sophomore this year. Pitched last year just a little bit because they graduated their number 1 pitcher, the Albertson girl, who was their number 1. So this was their backup last year. But she definitely has some varsity experience. Up
Yeah.
first for the.
She did pitch some last year.
She did.
Yeah.
This is Taylor Fouch. Titan, what was Taylor's batting average last year?
Her batting average was .355.
So definitely one who can hit, can kind of a 5-tool athlete. With the ability to hit, to run, to field. She's kind of an all-around package. Looks at the first strike up high. That's a ball that Taylor's not going to drive anywhere, so that's a good take on her part. There's another ball high. Yeah. So count is 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Foul ball down the third baseline.
Taylor turned her hips on that one and really ripped it. Coach Long talking to her, you know, letting her know that that's a good pitch to turn on. Just we've got to drive that one fair down the line. Ball high. Taylor's wanting to get on base. She's going to walk down there early.
Yeah.
Doesn't quite get there. So, oh, Titan, we got another guest who we can throw on the air if we want. You want to put Mom on the air?
Yeah.
Would you not be embarrassed of me?
No?
Right after I'll say something silly?
Maybe, but
Taylor hits that one foul, so she's going to come back and get back in the batter's box and hit away again. She doesn't know, but she was just on camera too, so everybody out there saw her. So there's one right there in the corner. So another foul ball from Taylor. It's amazing where all we can hide cameras is, isn't it, Titan? Titan didn't know that one was over there when we started right off the bat either. Claude didn't know until I just told him. So that one outside. Now Taylor's going to get her to walk. Up comes Cassidy Keltner with a .438 batting average.
And on deck, number 4, Tilly Gilbert.
Fouch standing on first base. Keltner steps into the box. .438 last year, but there's a ball up the middle. Able to throw it out at first, but there's no way you're going to get Keltner at first on that. So Fouch is retired at first. Or Fouch is retired at second on the fielder's choice. So Cassidy ends up at first.
Batting number 4, Tilly Gilbert. On deck, number 12, Gracie Abel.
Tilly Gilbert steps in.
she had a .421 batting average last year.
There's Keltner.
Safe.
She's there all day long. She's got really long legs and gets there in a hurry, so you've got to have really a cannon to throw her out. She was 16 for 16 last year on stolen bases, and it wouldn't surprise me for her to steal third here. There's a pop-up, kind of trouble.
Ooh, falls.
Falls in for a
Base
single.
hit for Tilly Gilbert. On batting now, number 12, Gracie Abels. On deck, number
Here comes
5,
number 12, Gracie Abels, starting first baseman. Going to see her pitch the second inning. Another one of those talented freshmen that we've talked about.
Got there at first. Did not get there at first.
I thought she got there.
Yeah.
batting number 3.
Apparently we're having some technical difficulties with our main camera, so we're going to switch over to our other camera. Give us just a second as we work on that.
There's an outside ball.
People wonder why I carry 4 cameras with me. It's for cases just like this.
Inside. and a walk.
Batting number 11, Cora Miller. Number 21, Lexus Brown on deck.
Titan, you take over there.
'Kay.
You keep calling them while I work on cameras.
Cora Miller up to bat now. She's the pitcher. High ball on the first pitch. Ooh, pop fly to second. It is caught. And that is the third out. So now there will be 0 outs.
Number 21, Lexus Brown, the left fielder up. On deck, number 13, Destiny Neefus.
There's the first bunt. It is foul. You have to bunt 2 times each half inning, and that was an attempt at one, but just foul. Oh, the bunt came back and hit her in the helmet.
She was still in the box, so she's still okay with that. So we've got Tilly out there on third, AJ out on second. Tries to bunt, drop third strike. So doesn't matter that it's a drop third strike there. She's still out. So we've got some situational stuff going on here. We've got bases loaded. Destiny Neefus, another one of the freshmen. Pitches outside. That's my question too.
Whoa, way high.
That may be one of those interesting scrimmage rules that.
Oh, nice hit, but foul.
We ran on two strikes while
Yeah.
just a strike.
There's a
Ooh,
ball right
right
back.
back.
Oh, ends up
Dropped.
dropping it. We're going to end up scoring a run on that one. But the ball was dropped. They do get the out at first. So Destiny Neefus is retired on the hit back to the pitcher. In comes E.
Batting is number 15, Elizabeth Halls, a center fielder.
She is the center fielder this year, was the second baseman last
19,
year.
Tori Bolton on deck.
Talked with Coach Long a little bit about E's swing before the game today. Last year she tried to slap quite a bit. This year he said she's not doing quite as much of that this year. So
There was the second bunt attempt.
you didn't act too surprised on that one, Titan.
Well, that probably would have been my first guess.
You're guessing she was bunting?
Yeah.
Well, you are correct. She's going to continue to bunt. It's a nice play there by AJ, and E advances on around 2 second on a bunt. So AJ's hearing it from Coach Long saying you got to get down on that. That's one that she's played enough softball. She knows she needs to slide on that play.
Yeah, that freshman class when I played travel baseball, the freshman class was like on a big team, and they would be playing normally on the field across from us sometimes.
Tori Bolton with the hit the shortstop. I believe Tori Bolton's going to be retired at first. Won't make a difference anyway because that's the 10th batter. So they do come around and score. I believe it was 4 runs in that, but you know, with the way the outs go and things, you're not quite sure on how many of them count and how many of them are actual true runs. So we're going to step aside, take another short commercial break, hear a message from the IHSAA, and have the second inning of the softball scrimmage between West Washington and Pekin.
Debate about sports specialization by high school athletes continues. Some argue that high school athletes who play one sport all year long have a better chance of landing a lucrative pro contract. But that's simply not true. In fact, 30 of the 32 first-round picks in last year's NFL draft played more than one sport in high school. Of the 32 players drafted, 22 also participated in high school track and field. 19 also played basketball. Some also played baseball and lacrosse. What's the path to success for high school athletes here in Indiana, no matter what their goals might be? Study hard, always do your best, and if you can, play more than one sport in high school. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Back to live action here. Lady Senators do take the field for the second inning, which we're going to see some girls move around. Cassidy Keltner's going to move to shortstop. She was at second, so now she's at short. AJ is back out at third base. Gracie Abels is going to move from first to the mound. She's going to actually not the mound, the circle. Then we're going to have Nicole Pittman come into the game in right field. Oh, well, I figured out why we're losing our cameras, Titan. You won't believe this. You know why?
That camera.
No, because I didn't turn on the power strip. So that's why we're losing our cameras. Give me just a second. We should have them loaded back up. I was like, I don't know why all of these are dying, and we had 2 of them go down.
First batter, it is a ball inside.
I believe they're keeping their same lineup throughout. That's the information that I have, which doesn't mean that that's correct, but that's what I've got. So I believe that is number 19, Dallas Roberts, I believe, who ended up walking in the first inning. Second pitch from Gracie is a little low. Titan, why didn't you say something when I was struggling with these cameras earlier? Ball four, second walk of the day. Third walk of the day total. Second for her, though. No, second for Dallas Roberts.
Ball high.
For the Musketeers is number 00, Samantha Campbell. Samantha Gilstrap.
Taylor Fouch is warming up pitching on the side, so she will probably be pitching soon.
I believe she's going to pitch the third inning. I believe. There we go. I think all the cameras are back on now, Titan. So we've got a whole arrangement there. And if I can remember to turn the power on, they'll stay running. Ball outside by Gracie. So we've got a 2-ball, 1-strike count here. There's a nice pitch right back up the middle.
Short.
Cassidy fields it nicely. Going to be
almost a double
thrown
play.
out at first, but then going to get the going to be safe at first. Unable to move that around fast enough. So this should be Angel Campbell coming up.
Angel Campbell batting for the Musketeer.
She went
Ball
to
inside.
AJ the first time, so AJ should be ready for this. I believe she did. No, she didn't bunt. She hit it off the end of the bat. There's a nice pitch that was fouled straight back. Alexis Brown behind the plate, giving Tilly a little bit of a break.
Ooh, just a little high.
Something that we talked about quite a bit last year. When Cora pitches, she leaves quite a rut in the dirt. And we saw it last year with the Trinity Lutheran girl. She didn't like the rut that was left there. Actually, I believe that was Casey that was making it, but it's different for each pitcher, and when you can't get your foot where you want it, it makes your pitches be in different spots. Tori Bolton is in the game at first. There's another foul ball right back at you.
Yeah.
Come on, Titan. There's your practice. You wouldn't even have to go to practice tonight.
Well.
We can put you on the other side of the screen if you want.
Well.
Oh, it's basketball practice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Angel Campbell
Ooh.
with the shot right back
it
to
short.
Cassidy. Cassidy fields it, throws it to E. E gets the out there, but they're unable to roll to again. So we just keep exchanging the runner on first base. Nice job by Nicole Pittman, who we see jogging back out to her spot in right field. She was over there backing up to throw it first. I believe this is Katie Quinlan.
Ooh.
21,
Ball
Katie
high.
Quinlan now batting.
Ooh, there's a low ball.
She's been up and down, but she does throw some pretty nice stuff that the girls from Pekin are chasing. So that's one of those that you're looking for out of your pitcher. You know, they throw pitches that they can hit and throw pitches that they're going to chase when they're not across the plate. So 2-ball, 1-strike count. Once again on the mound, it is Gracie Abels, one of the talented freshmen.
Ooh.
There's a strike on the outside corner. So not only does she work the zone up and down, she also works it inside and outside. There's one that's missed. Tilly. Oh. That's natural habit. That's not Tilly behind the plate right now. That's Alexis Brown behind the plate. She she grabbed at it, then tried to throw it, but couldn't quite get it in her hand where she wanted to. So definitely a pitch that is a good one to run on because it's a hard one to throw girls out with. Got her.
Ooh.
Nice throw by Alexis Brown. Nice applied tag by AJ down there. Talking to Claude before, he said that AJ hadn't played a whole lot of third base prior to this year. Coach Long really spoke highly of her at third, so it's a definite, a definite good job, for that to.
Batting will be number 21, Katie Quinlan.
There's some debate on what happens because that was the third out. So does Quinlan's? Yeah, I think it was a ball. So full count here with 3 outs. So the question was what happened to that since there was an out at third. They're gonna leave her in there and let her take her final swing.
Foul ball.
She's gonna get another swing.
Yeah.
So not her final swing. We've got some people out there asking to join our live stream, so I'm gonna approve them. Titan, you're on your own for a little bit.
Yeah. High ball, and that's 4, so there she gets to walk.
Batting will be number 28, Haley Rankin.
And Coach Long comes out to talk.
Probably gonna settle his freshman pitcher down just a little bit. Wants her to finish the pitches. It looks like she's leaving a little bit there, not hitting her resistance that's allowing her to drive through and really throw the ball as hard as she can. Coach Long coming out, just settling everybody down, talking to them a little bit. That's the nice thing about this setup for the scrimmage. You can talk to your players as much as needed, and it's one of those that the girls get to see, another team, another way to play, but then also get the experience of being able to see what they can do against another team. So.
Oh, there's a bunt.
Titan, what happened? Describe that for me, because I wasn't watching.
Well, the bunt, I think what happened was the pitch came, she went to bunt, she didn't hit it, and it just hit off the catcher's face mask. So then the girl on first decided to steal. Because if she would have actually made contact with the bunt, then she would not have been able to steal.
Right. So now we've got a runner on second. Turns to bunt. Up.
Oh, almost caught.
Just couldn't quite get there. Titan, you got a shout out from Mr. Ingram in the high school PE. He said, good job, Titan.
Thanks.
So, and your mom is downstairs watching us.
Yeah.
So she said that she wanted to be able to hear you talk throughout the broadcast. So here's your chance to be able to talk to her while you're while you're broadcasting.
Ooh.
It's kind of an interesting alignment here. If you can see, at home, we've got center field playing right on the edge of the grass. Cassidy's going to cover third. AJ's going to field the bunt if it comes this way. So batter is out on the third bunt attempt that is foul. It's one of those that's interesting for the scrimmage. You still continue to bunt if you're the batter who is bunting for the inning. So this is number 18, I believe, which is Gracie Rogers.
Ooh,
There's
strike.
a strike on the outside corner of the plate. This is definitely a interesting game to broadcast because of the way it's set up. AJ fields that one, throws across.
Got the out.
Got the out at first. Nice play over there by Tori Bolton. who fields that.
2 outs. The batter will be number 22, Skylar Steffen.
Skylar Steffen steps into the box. I believe she is the 7th batter for this inning. Once again, remember they do bat 10. No matter how many outs you get, you still bat the 10.
Pop
There's
up second over the second baseman's head.
There's a nice play out there by Bailey, or not Bailey. Bailey's her younger sister, Nicole Pittman,
Will be a base hit.
to field that one and get it back in.
Skylar. That's going to bring up Carrie Hoke.
In comes Carrie Hoke. We got just a runner on first.
Yep.
Squares to bunt. Claude called that one. He said that's the next one that's gonna bunt. So he called that. Squares again. Going to be a strike on the outside corner. Here's where you get to see how your players rotate, you know, if they're covering where they're supposed to, if they're going where they're supposed to. Tori Bolton playing in pretty close, and AJ's pulled in too, knowing that she's going to try to bunt.
Ooh, hits the dirt.
That's
If the ball goes to the back, if the pitch ends up being bunted by to the pitcher, then the third baseman will go back and cover. And
it's
if
a
fielded by the
definite
baseman,
interesting rotation here on who's going to field that.
Ooh.
There's a nice strikeout by Gracie. And I'm not real sure if that ball's not bunted back to Gracie if she doesn't turn and fire to Cassidy, who's covering second, because Gracie's got quite an arm and can probably throw the girl out on a bunt back to her. Foul ball on that one. Check swing. Started to swing at it and then changed her mind.
Brooklyn Casey now batting.
Gracie set to deliver another pitch. That one inside.
Stealing and didn't.
Cassidy couldn't quite field that one clean. Skylar Steffen was able to get in on that one. Cassidy just couldn't quite field that one cleanly enough to be able to apply the tag. Nice tag out by there. Drop third strike. Lexus Brown behind the plate with a very good heads-up play.
The 10th batter of this inning will be Shelby Casey.
Shelby Casey steps up to bat. Number 1, she's the final batter of this inning. Once again, they do bat 10.
Down
There's
the first base line and will be out.
Nice out recorded there by Tori Bolton. We're going to step aside, have a short commercial break, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Meet Josh.
Hi, everybody.
Josh is a high school basketball player, solid shooter, great teammate.
Hey, don't forget my Tenacious D.
And he's my son.
Oh,
So, what does Josh do to be the best basketball player he can be?
I play tennis.
Studies show that student athletes here in Indiana who play more than one high school sport
We'll be back
are more likely to
30
excel.
seconds.
Tennis does more than improve Josh's conditioning. It gives him a fresh competitive outlet, reduces the risk of injury by cross-training, and introduces him to different coaching techniques and new friends.
Don't get me wrong, hoops are my first love. Tennis just gives me a little break.
So when the new season begins, Josh isn't burned out on basketball. He's eager to play. And you can see the difference in his game.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Okay, we're back to live action. Titan Williams, he's been gracious enough to help out on the broadcast here of the scrimmage, but he has a basketball practice to get to, so we're going to give him a chance to give any shout-outs he wants here.
Shout out to Mom behind me and to my dad. He is he here?
He's waiting for you
Yeah.
right now. What? You've got a sister. You should give her
Yeah.
a shout out too.
Shout out to Liddy. She is probably down there somewhere.
Anybody else?
Nah.
No, no,
No.
girlfriend. Here's your
No.
chance.
Uh-uh.
I can give a shout out to your
Uh-uh.
girlfriend.
I don't have a girlfriend.
If you ever wanting to do this again, you probably should.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Titan, for all your help. I'm sure you'll be back on some other time this year. We'll get you on again where you can get the whole game and you know, experience the win with the Senators. So, thank you very much for coming and helping out today.
Okay. Goodbye.
So we've got the third inning, or sorry, the bottom of the second inning coming up here, where the Lady Senators are going to have Cassidy Keltner lead off. AJ in the two-hole. Gracie Abels comes in at the third spot. Nicole Pittman going to bat cleanup. Alexis Brown batting fifth. Tori Bolton at sixth. Cora Miller is going to be seventh. Kylie King is eighth. Ninth is E. Halls. And 10th is going to be Tilly Gilbert in the DH spot. So definitely
Okay,
an
in the
interesting,
second inning this evening, Cassie Keltner will lead off for the Senators.
an interesting
AJ Combs.
game here with the way that the scrimmage works and the
Cassie
things that
moved
are
from second over to
going on.
shortstop. She's playing shortstop now.
You know, with having to bat 10 batters and laying down 2 bunts. So I have some inside knowledge here that I am going to bet that Cassidy Keltner gets on base on this this at bat here.
I wouldn't even take that bet.
Claude sitting beside me said he's not going to take that bet. I have some insider information that she's probably going to lay down a bunt here. So I bet they're not expecting that one coming. Well, I mean, when you talk to the coach before the game, you kind of have some insider stuff. Claude, I'm going to hand you some headphones here. You can just be on the live stream here with me. So we'll put you on the live stream along with me, so you can talk through it.
You might want to turn that down a little bit if you had it for him.
Well, there. Now I got you.
How's that?
Yep, that'll work.
Okay.
So we've got Claude Combs here on. He's going to pull some double duty. Not only is he gonna announce, he's also going to call the game here with me a little bit. So.
And I don't have any inside information. There it is.
Lays it down perfectly. There's no way you're going to gun her out on that.
That was a good one. We'll give her a base hit on that.
Give her a base hit on that one. There's no shot on that. You're not going to throw her out from there.
And I wouldn't be one bit surprised to see her fake a bunt and steal second.
Yeah, I can see her stealing second here too. So AJ steps into bat in the second spot.
She didn't fake a bunt. She laid one down.
Yeah, AJ's gonna try to bunt here too. I got some insider information.
AJ Combs batting for the Senators. On deck is Gracie Abels.
So AJ is one of those girls who's played quite a bit of travel ball. Seen a lot of pitching, seen a lot of game situations. Lays down a nice bunt.
And they're going to go all the way around. Cassidy is the third baseman. Now she's going to score.
That's the play that they're looking for a lot with Cassidy. You lay down that bunt, she's going to end up at second, and when you draw that third baseman in, she's got to get back to third because there's not a spot for her.
Well, actually, in that situation right there, that should have been the pitcher. The third
Right.
baseman fielded that ball, and the pitcher should have went over and covered third, and she didn't. She watched it. She didn't go, so that left Cassidy wide open to run.
Right, and then she noticed it late, so then she tried to backpedal to get there, but it just wasn't fast enough, and they ended up throwing the ball anyway, which then got the Lady Musketeers in some trouble because there wasn't anybody there to cover, which Cassidy's just going to keep running. Her long gazelle legs are going to keep her moving around the base.
I thought during their bunch, our coverage was good. I was really just hoping that we would go back to the pitcher once. They'd bunt back to the pitcher, so we see if the third baseman went back to cover, and then when they bunted over with a runner on, to see if the bunt went to the third baseman, then the pitcher went over. But we looked like we worked on it because our movement was good.
Yeah. In steps Gracie. who was the pitcher for this inning.
Batting for the Cinders, number 4, Gracie Abel.
There's a ball just foul. She's definitely turning on the ball and driving hard, trying to pull the ball down the third base line.
There's several kids on this Cinder team's got some power. It's early and they're not making good solid contact, but they have some power. There's 4 or 5 kids on this team that maybe 6. I haven't counted them out there that does have real power.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. And the freshman group, all of those girls have power. Ooh. Swings through that one.
Putting a headset on me, I have to, it's kind of dangerous to put a headset on me. But it's a scrimmage game, so I won't get too excited.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, we've only had 143 people tune in and watch, so you're only out there to 143.
Just 143
just
going to hear me.
Just 143 hear you.
That's not bad.
And that's so far through 2 innings. So 143 different IP addresses, logged. So I'm sure we'll have upwards of 200, 250 before the night's over.
That one.
Yeah, turned and caught that one and drove it out to over by the playground. Somebody's gonna pick that ball up later.
Early season like this, and one of the big things you'll see with a lot of your hitters is their timing. They just don't have their timing down. They're a little late. They're a little slow.
Yep.
It's and it'll come as the season goes on. They get more at bats, but right now we're just a little off on our timing.
That's a pitch that Gracie probably would have swung at on the first if she had no strikes, because that's one that she likes, that high inside. But with 2 strikes, she knows, hey, lay off that one. Don't chase. There's ball 4. Gracie's going to take a walk.
And this is probably going to be batting for the Cinders. Is going to be Nicole Pittman playing right field now. This is probably going to be this young lady's last batter according to the rules, because this is going to be No, she's got one more.
Does she have one more?
No, this is the 5th batter, so that would be her 15.
Yeah, and that's one of those that the coaches can discuss before. I'm not exactly sure how many pitchers Pekin has. And they only brought, I believe it was the 10 that they're playing, so they don't have anybody, that's subbing. So, Coach Long probably had a talk with their coach and said, hey, if you need to throw somebody to a couple more batters, that's fine.
The reason Eastern is a little short-handed tonight is they have a play over at their place.
Yes.
They're having a play, so a lot of the kids are in drama, I guess. Would that be drama? Yeah.
So it's one of those that it's a great experience for the girls to be able to come out and get a scrimmage in under their belt before they actually play a real game. But with other activities going on too, it's hard to make sure everybody can be there, especially early in the season and before spring break and things.
They changed one of the rules this year on the pitchers. In the past, the pitcher had to have that non-pivot foot in contact with the rubber.
Yeah.
And they've now changed that rule, and you don't have to do that no more. And I noticed this little girl she must have been one of those that had to really fight doing that. And now then she's standing behind the rubber, which is fine. That's a new rule.
Yeah, and it's one of those that it's trickling its way down through, the sanctioning bodies of softball. There's some tournaments that you go to that still make you start with one on and or with both of them on, and then there's others that it's one on, one off. So it's kind of the difference in the
and that's
ruling.
That's really not right, because about everything goes by the National Federation.
Right.
In baseball and softball both. And when the National Federation adopts something, the USSSA and the ASA and all these other groups that have travel ball, I think should follow with that rule.
Right.
And
ball way inside. Gracie's going to round off second. And that's one that is for pitching, it's a huge deal the way you start, because it throws off your rhythm and the way that you deliver it. So it's one of those that the girls have to learn what they're going to do in high school, because that's the goal of all of the players is to play at a high level in high school and go on to college.
Exactly. So Nicole's going to draw a walk, and that's going to bring up batting for the Cinders will be number 21, Lexus Brown.
Who did a wonderful job behind the plate in that last half inning. I don't really consider her a natural catcher, but she did a really nice job back there. Probably more of a third baseman, outfielder combination there, but did a really good job behind the plate.
I think she's caught just a little bit, not a whole lot, and you don't have to move. That that was one that they throwed in the batter's box, and so she does not have to make any kind of attempt to get out of the way of it. So that's going to load the bases up here. 3 walks.
Yep, load the bases up for the senior Tori Bolton, who has played behind Tilly as a catcher and behind Taylor Green the past couple of years at first base, and Rye Watson. So they're really, Tori hasn't got a whole lot of varsity experience, not because she's lacking in any skills or anything, just because she's behind some really solid players. It's hard to get on the field.
Right. Batting for the Senators will be number 10, Tori Bolton. Tori has taken over first base for the Senators in this second inning. Tori has got some hitting skills. I mean, she can hit the ball here. This would be a real good time for Tori to crack one right over that umpire out there's head and get us going with a good solid base hit.
Yeah. And she's one who has some power too, that can drive one and put it out there.
Exactly. Yeah, she's got power. And I may have miscounted there a while ago. I was just giving you a rough number. There's several kids on this team that's got a lot of experience and have some pop in their bat.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And that comes from the travel system and the Campbellsburg League that a lot of these girls played in, and even some of them, played in the Salem leagues and things like that, so that, it's not something new. They've seen, this style of pitching. They've seen this pace of game.
Yeah, a lot of these kids not only played league ball, they played travel ball, but then they stayed in the leagues until they were 13. They'd stay in the league, play league ball, play travel ball, so they got a lot of games in the summer.
And it's amazing how many games you can get in a summer. If you and not necessarily counting just the summer, but in a year, in a calendar year, from August to August, because that's where most of the teams organize and do. You can get well over 100 games, 130 games easily in that, playing just on the weekends and not even every weekend, taking weekends off and things.
Right. Batting for the Senators and now playing center field is number 11, Cora Miller. Yeah, a lot of these kids, I know a team that AJ played with for several years. It started out when they was 9. Cora's going to get a base hit to right field.
Right through the hole.
That's going to drive in, drive in 2 runs.
2 runs. That's one where Alexis Brown may want to get down coming into home there.
Right.
Not that she necessarily has to, but it's probably going to make that play a whole lot harder if she does. So.
Well, that's true, and it's them kids. A lot of times they come here, Philip. Philip, you got something you want to say to your friends and neighbors out there? Huh? Philip, come up. Are you getting out of the wind, or just come sit down? Philip's getting older. I know what that's all about. Getting older, so he gets cold. Let's see who's batting for us.
This is Kylie King, I believe.
Batting for the Cinders is Kylie King. Kylie playing left field. It's one back to the pitcher, double play. Wow.
That's one of those that Cora's got to realize that and not take off quite so far.
Where is Cora? This here. So it's out number 2, 1 to 3. Yeah. What do they call you, rally killer when you do that?
Yeah. Yep. Up comes E. Halls.
Batting for the Cinders is going to be Elizabeth Halls. Elizabeth moved from center to second base for this second inning.
Tori makes it around to third base on that passed ball.
Think maybe it's going to be our second bunt?
We had our first two. Our
already
first two batters had bunts there. Not saying that E might not lay one down, but I'm saying she doesn't have to.
I'd say she'll swing away there.
Yeah, I'm thinking Coach Long is wanting to see her swing some, especially since she spent most of last year as a slapper. So, definitely, probably want to see her swing at some live pitches here.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's early in the season, but those first 2 bunts were nice ones.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Cassidy Keltner can lay him down with the best of them, and with her long legs, she gets down first base. It's hard. It's going to be hard to throw her out.
Right. She's got wheels.
And then it was
draw another walk.
It was a nice play by AJ to lay down another bunt, because then Cassidy was able to go from first to third, and then on the air was able to score. So.
And that third baseman for Eastern made a nice play on that.
Yeah.
One. She made a nice play. She got on it quick, made a good strong throw over to first base, and that's cool. Tilly Gilbert batting for the Cinders is going to be Tilly Gilbert. Will be our last batter for this second inning.
Tilly steps in. It's a nice outside corner pitch. Ends up taking second there without a throw.
Well, she moves pretty good.
Yeah, she can get down the line.
See Tilly get on something here and get her a good sharp hit.
Yeah. When Philip came up and said the wind hadn't died down, this park is hard to hit one out of if the wind is blowing. So usually we've got a flag out there, but Philip said they didn't have the pole up yet and the flag up, so it's hard to tell if the wind's really blowing as much as it was before the game. But I got a feeling it's always blowing here.
If you want to hit one out in this park with the winds blowing in, you got to hit it right on the left field line or right on the right field line.
Yeah.
Because the wind's going to come almost straight at us. That's the way the wind's going to come, and so you can kind of get a little side breeze to it over there, and you get a pushing motion over here. So.
Yep.
But if you hit that thing to center field, you're going to have to hit it a ton when that wind comes in.
Which Tilly's one who can hit it a ton. She can get a hold of it and really crush it. So, it's one of those that she can do it.
Well, that's going to be the inning. That's going to be it.
That's the inning. Yeah. We're going to step aside, have a short commercial break from the IHSA, and we'll be back for the third inning in just a moment.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Indiana, who do you meet? When you're working for a mover and shaker with strong ties to our community, who are they? When you encounter a group of people eager to roll up their sleeves, who are you most likely to work with? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Taking the initiative, being a good teammate, sacrificing personal glory for the greater good. These are qualities we expect of our leaders, and they're all being cultivated in the high schools right here in Indiana. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Back to live action here at the West Washington Softball Complex. We're going to see our third pitcher of the evening. Taylor Fouch is going to step in and pitch this inning to what Coach Long plans on being 10 batters. Last year Taylor was 1-0. She only threw 8 innings, partly because she was behind Casey Kalin, who definitely was a big inning eater at 76.1, but then she also was behind Cora, who threw another 58. So they really didn't need Taylor a whole lot. Not that she's not a quality pitcher. She definitely is. In her 8 innings of work, she only gave up 4 hits, 1 run, and had 10 Ks in those 8 innings. So definitely has some pitching experience as she's come up through the travel ball and through the rec leagues and other things. So she's definitely a quality pitcher, and we're going to see kind of a different alignment in the field. Destiny Neefus is going to play second. Tilly Gilbert is going to come out from behind the plate and play shortstop. AJ Combs is going to center field. Gracie Hadley is going to first base. Kylie King is going to catch, probably her natural position, catcher. Alexis Brown is moving to third. Another one of those freshmen that we were excited to see tonight and see how she adjusted to the varsity action. Elizabeth Walls is going to be in left field. Ashton Mercer is going to be in right field, and Cora Miller is going to be the DH for this inning. So we're going to get some new girls all around the place.
We are. There's no doubt about that.
Up comes number 19, which I believe is Dallas Roberts, their leadoff batter.
Is she going left-handed?
She's going left-handed. She's gonna attempt at a slap here. It looks like the way her footwork looked.
Leading off for the Musketeers in the third is going to be number 19, Dallas Roberts.
Slapping is one of those interesting softball things that you've got to be a pretty good hitter to start off with, and then you're adding in movement to it. So, it's not one of those that's super easy to do.
In college ball this year, they changed that rule on that slapping. If any part of your foot steps across that white line, any part of it touches the dirt on the outside, you're out.
Yeah, and that's if you've watched college ball, which I'm sure you have, Claude. There are girls who it looks like they're halfway down first base line when they're still swinging, and it's one of those that gives them an unfair advantage.
Well, I've watched 5 or 6 games this year so far, and I don't know how many kids I've seen called out for that. If they touch any part of the ground with their toe outside that, used to the whole foot had to be outside before you was outside.
Yep. They've shortened up that batter's box.
Yep.
So you can't have your heel on the line anymore. If your toe goes over, you're out of the box. So
batting will be Samantha Gilstrap, 00. Well, Taylor Riddis, they're getting a look at a whole bunch of pitchers. Eastern is.
Yeah, and that's one thing that Coach Long really talked about. He's got quite a few pitchers that he can throw in a night like tonight. And not get anybody too much work or overwork anybody.
I think probably what's he going to throw in the next one? The Brown girl.
He's going to throw Nicole Pittman for the first 5, and then he's going to throw Alexis Brown, or not Alexis, Lexus Brown,
right?
For the next 5 batters. So split that one up so that those girls get some work too. It's a nice pitch from Taylor. It's going to be interesting because this is one of the first years that there's been enough girls that you can really play a full JV schedule with other teams that have JV teams, and you've got enough pitching to be able to do it. That's always been the battle before. There wasn't enough pitching.
Well, that's a great thing too. Well, you got to watch the innings because there's Phil probably knows, but I think you can only play. Well, I'm not sure what the game number is. Well, I won't say. And an inning is a game, so
yeah.
You got to watch you got to have the numbers.
There's a nice shot right back up the middle, right through the circle for Taylor Fouch.
It's going to be a base hit up the middle for Samantha Gilstrap. That'll bring up Angel Kimball.
I like seeing AJ out there in center. Not that I don't like seeing her at third, but she can control that outfield out there and run down quite a few balls also. So,
well, actually, we've got 3 pretty quick girls that they've had out. Well, they haven't had the last year's center fielder out there, but AJ has been out there, and then of course Elizabeth Halls was out there, and Elizabeth's extremely quick. And so, he's got some options with these kids. There's just a lot of things you can do.
Yeah, there's a lot of different lineups that he can put out there and be super competitive with all of them.
Well, I think you'll probably watch as season goes on. That lineup will just down, and it'll be positions by who's pitching. They got okay.
Gonna get the out at second. Who is that at second out there? 13. That's Destiny Neefus who fielded that one and then threw over to Tilly Gilbert. The freshman had me. I'm looking out there and I couldn't pick out who that was. So this inning we've got quite a few freshmen on the field who haven't been in the first couple of innings. So
4 to 6, 2 outs. And what happened there? I missed it.
We laid down a bunt.
Oh, God.
Lexus Brown fielded it. Destiny Neefus didn't rotate over to first when Gracie Hadley came in, so had kind of a miscommunication over there. Finally, the ball was thrown, but then the runner went from second, tried to get to third. once again, we didn't rotate correctly, so that's why Coach Long's out there, talking to his players. He's saying, hey, we've got to rotate. We've got to get where we're supposed to go. Luckily, the Pekin girl came on around third and then was tagged out because she overran the base. So, it was.
I seriously doubt if you see a whole lot of this lineup in the varsity game.
Yeah, but this would be a solid, JV, lineup if you take. But you're probably not going to have Taylor pitch that, and you're probably not going to have Tilly out there, at shortstop. But still, this is a solid, JV lineup, with probably our pitchers coming in. The next inning would be the JV pitchers.
Coming up to bat for the Musketeers here is going to be number 28, Haley Rankin. So we got the third out, so we're starting over on outs. And
right.
We got a runner
and we got a runner on second. Once again, with the scrimmage rules, when the inning is over, even though you get 3 outs, you leave the runners out there so that you can have different, fielding options. Taylor's missing inside to right-handed batters quite a bit.
Let's see what she's doing there. Watched her. Yeah, I've been trying.
There's a nice pitch.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my book filled out.
you're pulling double, triple duty up here.
I couldn't get ours has changed every inning now, so I had to go to different page.
Yeah. There was a good attempt by Taylor to throw I believe that was a screwball there that she was trying to throw, or maybe a changeup.
I think she's trying to throw. Who was behind us?
I don't know.
They didn't stay long. They must,
Nope.
They must not have liked us. I think it was a changeup.
Was it a change?
I believe so.
I didn't see when it left her hand what she did, so that's.
Uh-oh.
Now you're going to pull all kinds of duty. You're getting phone calls.
It's from Brent Miller here.
Well, that's a good one. Here, pull those off, and you can talk to Brent.
Yeah, Brent.
So we've got a pretty nice inning going here. Taylor Fouch is throwing a pretty nice inning here. Not 100% under control all the time, but when she is making those pitches, she's doing a good job. Destiny Neefus makes the field there at second. Throws to Gracie Hadley at first to retire the batter.
No, it's over West Warsaw.
So we're at the 7th batter of the inning.
Okay.
This is number 22, which is Skylar Steffen. There's another hit out to Destiny Neefus. Nice. Ooh. That one got out of Gracie Hadley's hand and went flying. So.
Let's see what we got here. Number 7's up to bat.
So up comes
Number 7.
Carrie Hoke.
Carrie Hoke batting.
This is.
Okay.
We've got bases cleared here. Taylor Fouch is our pitcher.
I guess a bunch of them girls are gone because they only brought 10 kids.
Foul ball. Trying to bunt. This may be their bunter of the inning.
How many starters?
Remember, once again, you have to bunt, 2 batters, and you bat all 10 no matter of the outs. So, an interesting thing here. There's a nice bunt laid down. Kylie comes out from behind the plate, throws to Destiny, who retires the batter. Carrie Hope grabbing at her foot, hoping she's okay.
It's been nice to be here for the scrimmage because all these, like with our kids, we've had a different lineup every inning. What they do at this game is
In comes
Brooklyn Casey.
Brooklyn Casey.
What we're doing right here.
There's a strike.
We've had a different lineup. You bat 10 batters, no matter how many outs you get.
Taylor Fouch has this inning really under control. She's throwing good pitches, and the Pekin girls are having a hard time hitting. Seems like she's really settled into a nice rhythm here. There's a foul ball sent down the first base line.
Ours can throw strikes. Let's put it that way. I shouldn't have said that. I mean, they're not going to overkill nobody, but they're decent. They're doing a good job.
Taylor waiting on something. I'm not quite sure. Oh, it was the call from the catcher. There we go. There's a nice pitch on the outside corner. Swings through that one to get another strikeout.
All right, man. All right. Bye. The 10th batter will be Shelby Casey.
Shelby Casey, the final batter of the inning, comes up. Swings through, Taylor gets a strike on that first pitch. Always good to jump out ahead of the batters, so then they've got to chase some stuff.
Yeah, you get to go to work as a pitcher if you get that first strike on him. Ooh, nice pitch.
Nice one. That's the second strike.
Taylor's been heating up a little bit. Got a couple balls hit off over on the right side there. But, those were good pitches. And there comes another one to the right side. They're getting behind. Oh, okay.
Kind of an interesting play down there at first base. Not exactly how Coach Long probably wants them to do that. Doesn't want them to flip that. Wants to turn and run that to the base. So we're going to step aside, take a short commercial break, and we'll be back with the Senators' half of the third inning here in just a moment.
Well, we're not keeping score, but right so far the score is...
We hear it more and more when people talk about sports. We need to change the culture. No more integrity taking a backseat to performance.
Actually, in this second inning,
no more players, coaches, and fans run amok. No more too big to fail. It sounds good. It sounds reasonable. Come to think of it, it sounds like high school sports. At the Indiana High School Athletic Association, we know that sports are just part of a student-athlete's overall education and that there's more to the game than winning. We also know that high school sports are incredibly exciting. They're rich with tradition and bring communities together like nothing else. In a word, they're pure. More and more, that's what people want. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport. This message brought to you by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, the IHSAA, and the high schools in this community.
We're back to live softball action here from the West Washington Softball Complex. Kind of a neat situation here with the scrimmage, how you get to send 10 batters every inning, and you get to have 2 of them, try to lay down bunts, and there is no score being kept, out on the scoreboard. So it's not one that you're playing for a win. You're trying to get your girls in situations where they can see different things going on. They can see stuff, happening, so that they can be ready for the season that's coming up. Line up this inning for the Senators. We're going to see Destiny Neefus, who was the second baseman. Taylor Fouch is the pitcher. Tilly Gilbert, the shortstop. A.J. Combs, who was out in center. Gracie Hadley, the first baseman. Kylie King, the catcher. Lexus Brown was at third. Elizabeth Walls was the left fielder. Ashton Mercer was in right field. Is going to bat ninth, and the 10th is Cora Miller.
Leading off the Senators' half of the third inning, it will be the second baseman, Destiny Neefus, followed by the pitcher, Taylor Fouch, and the shortstop, Tilly Gilbert, and the center fielder, A.J. Combs. That's our first 4 batters in the bottom of the third inning. So I think really for us, our infield has got a pretty good little, they've hit enough balls in the infield and made some bunts and give us some opportunity to do some things, and for the coach to sit and see how some of the things are going on, what's going on with it. And so that's been a really good thing. And Eastern not having all their kids here today, they didn't have to switch theirs around so much. So the girls that are here, they're getting a lot of at-bats.
Oh, yeah. They're getting a lot of at-bats and getting to see a lot of different places in the infield. I don't know. I mean, I haven't been really keeping track of Pekin's,
what they do
in the field and where they're playing, but it seems like their girls have been kind of all over the place too.
Who are they pitching?
That's
12.
Number 22, I believe. That's Skylar Steffen, I believe.
Pitching for the Musketeers here in the third innings, number 22, Skylar Steffen on the mound.
I believe She is one of the sophomores from the Pekin team. It's a nice hit by Destiny Neefus, going to drop in for a nice single out there right over second base in front of the center fielder.
It's going to be a base hit for Destiny Neefus. Bring up Taylor Fouch.
Fouch on the year last year was .355 on the year, so
that's a pretty good batting average for a freshman. I know she had at least one home run, so and she had some real nice. The games I saw, she had some really nice. She had I don't know how many doubles she had, but that girl can move. Yeah, Destiny got right down there, stole second base.
Well, Claude, now you're testing me. How many doubles did Taylor Fouch have last year? She had 10.
I knew she'd hit. I seen some
10 doubles, 3 triples, and 2 home runs.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive for a freshman. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and she's one who right now she looks like she's sizing up Skylar Steffens for a shot here if she puts one over.
Ooh, got her.
Gonna get her. That one is on Destiny. She stepped in the hole before she started, so she had to take an extra step, and if she didn't take that extra step, she would have been standing on third base safely. I don't think Taylor was really attempting to bunt. I think she was just trying to get in the way of the catcher.
Yeah.
As a good hitter, that's what you do. You can get your batters extra bases by just getting. Nice catch out there in left field.
Well, batting for the Senators, the shortstop, Tilly Gilbert, number 4. I don't have the numbers written down. So.
Oh, heck of a bunt right there. Nobody covering.
There's not going to be nobody there.
I don't know that if you handed that ball to Tilly, if she could drop that one there.
No, that's pretty.
Those of you watching at home, you can see the ball mark from where she dropped that, and that was maybe 3 inches outside of the left-handed batter's box.
You don't really want, I think Tilly will look at that if she sees it, and well, they'll have it filmed. Think, I need to put just a little more on that ball. I would have got myself if I'd been back there.
In comes AJ.
Jammed her. That's 3 outs.
That's one that I'm sure AJ's probably not real pleased with herself on swinging on that one, especially being kind of up in her eyes and jamming her on it. So.
On the first pitch?
Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't be real happy either.
And you've seen her play enough to know that that's not one that she really needs to be hitting.
No, that's just not, it's hard to get young kids to understand that they need to hit according to the count.
Yep.
I mean, if they give you your perfect pitch first, hit it. But you don't have to hit the first pitch.
Right.
Or the second pitch. If they happen to call 2 strikes on you on those pitches, well
then you've got to protect the plate.
If they know you hit a nice hard screwball inside and then go on that low and way on the outside corner and the umpire gives them both of those pitches, well then
I believe that was Gracie.
That was Gracie Hadley batting. Gracie was hit by a pitch, and that will bring up Kylie King now catching for the Senators. But yeah, that's you got to know what a hitter's count and what a pitcher's count is, and you have to be able to bat within them. And when there's no count, that's definitely no reason to have to do anything.
Right. There's no reason that AJ should have swung it at that pitch. That was one that was up in her eyes, and she's not going to make good contact on that, and not going to be able to drive it anywhere or get a base hit. So
I think she made up her mind too late, if we could see that again, to get out of the way of it, and instead of getting her bat back, Kylie should have never bunted at that one either.
Yeah.
And that's young. These are freshmen.
These are freshmen, and those are freshman mistakes that you're going to see. You're going to see those, go on, and you're going to see those happen, and you're going to see a kind of a growing situation for the girls.
There, she laid a nice one down. That's a nice bunt. Kylie almost beat that now.
Yep. That was a good sacrifice there to move the runners around. That's what you're looking for.
Nice bunt. So we'll call that a sacrifice, and which is what it was. And batting is who is that? That's not Lexus. That's Elizabeth, ain't it?
Yeah, Elizabeth Walls.
Batting for the Senators was Elizabeth Walls. Next batter will be Ashton Mercer. Ashton's playing right field. What did Lexus do? I missed
I don't
it.
know. I don't know that she hit.
Well, I didn't see her up there.
I don't see her out there on.
I missed the batter if I did. So.
Well, I did too.
Oh, yeah.
Tilly.
Tilly's going to cruise in there.
Yep, Tilly comes around and scores one for the Senators. Once again, not keeping score. If you're looking out there on the scoreboard, that is the batter number of the inning. She is the 8th batter. I have her down as the 9th batter. Somehow Alexis Brown came through, and she may be down warming up pitching. That may be why they didn't bat her. I don't know that for sure. No, it looks like
Cora
Pittman's
Miller's
down there.
What? Who?
Pittman is down there warming up, so she's not down there.
Okay, she's going to fly to pop.
Mercer's going to pop out to third. Up comes Cora Miller, who we've seen kind of all over the place today. She was the starting pitcher, then went to center field. This inning, she's the DH.
Batting for the Senators is going to be Cora Miller, the DH this inning.
That's not one that you want to swing at. You want to let that one go by.
It's early. Hopefully our pitch selection will get better. It will.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The more that they see, the more innings that these girls see, the better their hitting is going to be.
They've been coming out practicing, and now it's time to get out there, and everybody
chomping
wants at the bit.
Everybody wants to swing at everything.
Right.
So, well, here comes Lexus Brown. She's going to bat last for them. So,
well, okay. That
makes more sense in your book, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of out of order, but that's okay. Here it would be okay.
That's one of those where you're way more experienced than I am, but you're using a pen over there in a book, and that's something I never do. I always use a pencil.
Oh, okay.
Because I always mess up.
Well, I thought I missed something here.
Well, you didn't miss it. She didn't bat. She didn't bat in the order that we had her. So.
Okay, batting last for the Senators be the 10th batter of this inning. It's going to be Lexus Brown. Lexus playing third base.
Lexus is another one of those talented freshmen in that freshman group that is coming up.
She's going to get away with that one. Yep, safe.
It's a nice play there.
It'll be a base hit by Lexus. That'll bring the inning to a close. Another run scored.
We're going to step aside, have a short commercial break from the IHSA, and we'll be back with the top of the 4th inning.
Hey, honey, is this your course schedule for the fall?
Yep. Let me see here. English, good. Chemistry, trigonometry, excellent. World history, I love world history. Baseball? Wait, baseball? Baseball isn't a course, honey.
Well, sure it is, Mom. High school sports are about so much more than winning and losing. They teach lessons that can't be taught in a classroom, like accountability and self-discipline, the value of teamwork. I may not be earning a grade, but I'm learning how to compete later in life. Isn't that what getting a good education is all about?
Yes, of course it is. I was just testing you.
What can teenagers here in Indiana learn from participating in high school sports? Plenty, as it turns out. That's why they're called education-based athletics.
High school sports. There's so much more than just a game.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We'll play first, I guess.
We're back to live action here. We are getting our 4th pitcher of the evening, and we're actually going to see, according to Coach Long before this inning started, he's going to throw 2 pitchers this inning. We're going to have Nicole Pittman is going to throw to the first 5 batters, and then Lexus Brown, the freshman, is going to come in and throw to the last 5 batters. Nicole did pitch last year. She did have 2 innings that she pitched, and she had 3 strikeouts in those 2 innings. Once again, like I said earlier, she was behind Casey Kalin, who has graduated and is having a fairly successful start to her season at the college level at Anderson. So Nicole was behind her. Also, Cora Miller threw last year, so she was behind her, and then Taylor Fouch. So she was the 4th option last year. Kind of looking like she's going to be a fourth option this year. Probably will see quite a few more innings on the JV side, based on the fact that Cora is back. Gracie threw some pretty good stuff, and then Taylor came in the 3rd and threw some pretty good stuff. But Nicole has some nice action out there on the balls that she throws. So we're going to see her for 5 batters, and then I believe Lexus Brown is going to come in and throw to the last 5 batters of the 4th inning. We've got girls out there right now that this might be a typical JV lineup, maybe minus the 2 girls on the left side of the infield. I don't know that we'll see Gracie in a JV action or Tori Bolton in a JV action, but this would be a pretty nice JV lineup here. Elizabeth Walls is going to play second base. Like I said, Gracie Abels is at shortstop. Nicole Pittman is going to pitch and then move to first. Tori Bolton is at third. Lexus Brown is at first and then going to move to the pitching. Gracie Hadley is catching. Mariana Santiago is in left field.
Who's pitching for the Cinders?
Nicole Pittman.
Pitching the 4th inning for the Cinders is going to be Nicole Pittman.
This is Dallas Roberts, I believe.
Batting for the Musketeers is going to be 19, Dallas Roberts. Their book's been easy to keep. They ain't changed nothing. Just do it,
You're going to have to talk to Coach Long about that, Claude.
I think Coach Long had his kids. She only had 10, so
yeah.
she didn't have a lot of decisions to make. And like I say, I haven't really paid any attention. I know they changed pitchers, but other than that, I haven't really paid any attention to see where they moved the girls to.
There's a nice play out there by Elizabeth Walls.
Now batting 00, Samantha Gilstrap. Well, she put that ball right in there.
Yeah. Nicole has some talent at the pitching level. It's just one of those, like I said earlier, she's been behind some other players. So,
and unfortunately, last year we did play some JV games, but not the number that would have been good for them.
Right.
Because of the numbers we had, and because of the ISHA's rules on the number of innings that a ball player can participate in. If you don't have enough players, you're restricted.
Right.
You really like to have about 19, 20 players on a team and they divide out grade wise real equal, and you can just play all the JV games you want and ground ball to
There's
Tori.
a nice job by Tori to field that and come across the diamond.
Okay. Batting will be number 12, Angela Campbell for the Musketeers.
There's a pop-up.
I really believe that, if you keep the ball down, I think as the season goes on, our infield's going to be pretty decent.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be.
And we've got lots of parts out there that can play different spots. I mean, we've got Lexus Brown on first, who probably isn't a natural first baseman, more of a third baseman. Gracie's playing shortstop, probably more of a first baseman. I mean, we've got girls moved kind of all over the place, but are still successful at the spots that they're playing.
That comes from playing a lot of ball too.
Yeah.
And get moved around, and you learn these spots, and you feel comfortable. You move me over there, okay, it's not really my favorite spot, but I can handle it.
Yeah.
That's
it. And you've played enough innings to know, hey, this is what I need to do over here.
Yeah.
And you've seen other people do it enough that you can follow what they do.
Right.
That's a nice pitch right there by Nicole Pittman.
Actually, Nicole's looking pretty good. I mean,
yeah.
She's not overpowering, but she's on both corners.
Yeah, and that's what it takes to be successful at the high school level. You know, you can't just throw it right down the middle. It's got to be, you know, off to the sides. You've got to use the whole plate.
Batting for the Musketeers, 21, and Katie Quinlan. Yeah, that's 3 up, 3 down.
And that's all you can ask for out of those. You know, when you're looking at your fourth pitcher, you know, that's what you want.
Yep. Right side, left side, strikeout. That's a recipe.
Yeah. Works all the time.
It works like a charm, don't it?
Uh-oh, I think our center field baseball crew is moving in.
They're moving in. Weather getting them, you think?
Apparently it's a little chilly out there. They're all bundled up. Although we do have one straggling out behind in shorts. So
yeah.
I don't know if he didn't get the memo on what the weather was today.
He's just tough. That's all you can say. Oh, right.
There's a rocket right back to Tori, who fields that one cleanly.
It's one of them things is you catch it or else.
Yeah. You catch it or it catches you.
That's exactly right. Nice play.
I'm really impressed with the style that Nicole brings here.
Get it.
There's 5 innings or 5 batters. She's retired all 5 of them. And now we're going to see Lexus Brown come in, who just made that play at first base. Coach Long was talking to her before, and that's what is great about a scrimmage here. You know, Lexus made that tag and wasn't holding on to the ball. She had it in her glove and reached out and tagged the girl. And, you know, Coach Long came over and said, look, you know, we've got to secure that ball. We've got to have our other hand on top of it when we make that tag so it doesn't come rolling out.
Pitching for the Senators now will be Lexus Brown. You can't, you know, that's just a pretty good job. She had 4 ground outs and a strikeout.
Yeah.
You know, you had to swing the bat. You know, she put the ball in there, and so that's good. And she's a sophomore. You know, we've pitched 5 pitchers?
Yeah, this is our 5th.
Okay, we pitched a senior, a sophomore, freshman, sophomore, freshman.
Yeah. So we're going to have pitching, you know, as the years come. I don't know that if Elizabeth Walls would have even fielded that one, if it would have been if she would have got her out. Tori made a late break on that ball.
Who's batting?
22.
Skylar Steffens batting for the Musketeers.
That is a heck of a pitch right there. That's a nice changeup that she just threw. You know, after you see a couple of fastballs, you throw that one in there. That's a whole different realm.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, Gracie broke the wrong way on that one off the bat. It fooled her.
Yep.
She broke towards second and needed to move towards third on that one. So, still a nice hit by the Musketeers there.
That's one of them rust deals. You don't play there all the time. You gotta read that ball off the bat. You don't just take off where you think it's going.
Yeah, and it came off a little funny. So I mean, it wasn't a straight hit. It looked like it was knuckling coming off that bat. So.
Look out now.
That was a miss. That came out of her hand.
That was supposed to be a change-up, and she let it go way high.
Yeah.
The timing on that release on that change-up was really off, you know. And she hits that batter.
Hits that batter, so she's going to end up getting first base on a hit batter.
And Eastern's loaded the bases on us here in this last 4th inning. And this will be the end of it, and that's going to bring up. Batting is going to be Brooklyn Casey, number 4.
There's one right at you, Claude.
No hands.
Titan would have caught that.
He would have got her. Yeah, he's young, still got those hands. I'm getting old and slow here.
You didn't even make a move at it. You were just going to let it go. Some young kid can go grab that one.
I trust the screen. That's a strike. He didn't call it.
He didn't call it a strike. she didn't pull it back. That's what her coach is going to come down and talk to her about. Coach Patton's going to come down and tell her, hey, if you're squared, you got to pull that one back or it counts as a strike. So. There's a ball
That's
low.
2 times in a row. I mean, you're not doing her no favor by not. It's a high school ball here. You got to make that call and let her know that the coach is telling her right, because that's twice in a row she's left that bat out there, and really, no, she don't have to offer it.
Coach Long is questioning the same thing that you said.
You can't have the bat out there. You got to pull it back, guy. Well, he's the umpire. I don't know.
So her coach is actually talking to her right now about the exact same thing, that if she sticks it out there, she's got to pull it back. She can't leave it out there or it's a strike.
Yeah, you're not going to get that in a real game.
Yeah, and that's the same thing Coach Long and Coach Abels, who's sitting on the bucket right there at the screen, is saying, hey, if she leaves it out there, it's a strike.
That's the same thing.
And the umpires have worked a great game, have worked a long game. This is longer than most. The 40 batters on each side. That's a long game.
Get it in there. Well, they scored 2.
Yeah, that's a.
Yeah,
that's an interesting situation there. We've got a batter who bunted at the ball
4 times.
4 times, yet is going to end up standing on first base because of a drop third strike on a bunt, which I don't know I don't think that's one that you can advance on even on a bunt. I don't think that's all. I'm going to have to go to a rule book on that one.
Well, it's strike 3, so. I'm not going to say in softball. I'm not a,
I don't know that I've.
But I do know this much. She caught the one before that.
Yeah.
Which doesn't matter. It's a scrimmage game,
and the bases are loaded on top of that. So.
Yeah. In the rule book, I mean, if she can advance on a drop third strike, and that's what that is a drop third strike, and we dropped it, and she ran, and we went to third, and we hit the batter because that's one of those cases where the first baseman's got to come inside
the bag
and take that throw.
Yep.
And I'm satisfied that the boys and the boys over there seen all that, and they'll be working on that kind of stuff,
Well, and it's one of those that I'm not so sure that Nicole is a natural first baseman either.
No.
So she's playing kind of out of position because that's where Alexis was playing when she came in to pitch. There's a pass ball. Nice attempt there from Gracie Hadley behind the plate.
Well, it's like I say, the great thing about something like this is you get set and watch it as a coach. You get to sit and see, well, we've been practicing for X number of days now, and now there's some things that I see that we're not real solid with.
Yeah.
And there's some things that we're
doing
a good job with,
and that's exactly what Coach Long said he wanted to get out of this was time to work on some things, see where he needed to work on things, and they don't play for quite a while. Well, I take that back. They play Salem, the 22nd. Actually, they play. See, they had 2 games scheduled for next week, right?
And
I
both
think
of those got
I think
called
both
off.
of those got called off, and they're going to play Salem the 22nd. I think is going to be their first actual game
of March.
Yes.
They've rescheduled. They've scheduled that.
They scheduled that one in because I believe it was Clarksville didn't have enough girls, so they dropped it, and then.
So they're gonna play Salem twice.
I don't know if they're going to play it twice or if they're going to move the later game up and then
the schedule that I have that I just got from Philip yesterday, unless he's done something since yesterday, put us playing Lanesville Monday or Tuesday after around April the 2nd or the 3rd or 4th.
Well, that might be.
And then Salem comes in there around the 7th or 8th.
Well, it's changed 2 or 3 times. Coach Long has sent me updated schedules, and then they've been changed, and he sent me more, and then it's been changed, and it's one of those. We'll let you know what the schedule is on our next broadcast. We're going to step aside, take a short break here in between in the middle of the fourth inning, which will be our last inning of the night, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Yeah, I think that now
we hear it more and more when people talk about sports.
Yeah.
We need to change the culture. No more integrity taking a backseat to performance. No more players, coaches, and fans run amok. No more too big to fail. It sounds good. It sounds reasonable. Come to think of it, it sounds like high school sports. At the Indiana High School Athletic Association, we know that sports are just part of a student-athlete's overall education and that there's more to the game than winning. We also know that high school sports are incredibly exciting. They're rich with tradition and bring communities together like nothing else. In a word, they're pure. More and more, that's what people want. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport. This message brought to you by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, the IHSAA, and the high schools in this community.
We're back to live action here. This is the final half inning of the scrimmage with West Washington and Eastern. It has been a fairly interesting game.
They got a new pitcher, don't
game here. They do have a new pitcher, number 18, Grace Rogers, who I believe started off pitching. I believe.
Is that right?
Maybe not.
Let's look. Let me look in my book here.
Can't quite remember who the.
Okay. Yep. That was their starting pitcher.
So their starting pitcher, they're going to bring her back in. I'm sure that Coach Long and Coach Patton talked about, who was going to pitch, and with Eastern only having 10 girls, I'm sure they don't have enough pitching to be able to cover all 40, batters. So
I don't think Chris really cares. I think all he wants to do is get his kids some time, and whoever's throwing it in there is good with him.
That's that's the way that a scrimmage works out really well. That's
batting for the Senators number is going to be Destiny Nefas. Destiny's playing second base.
Oh, I think that's Elizabeth Walls.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is. I'm sorry, it's Elizabeth Walls. Sorry, Elizabeth.
It's one of those with a batting helmet on, and we're actually looking down at him. All you see is hair and a number, and a lot of them look the same. So,
and with all this chicken scratching I got on here because of the way we had to do this, it's
hard to see who's actually in there.
Got to go over here and find out who that number belongs to.
There's one right back at you, Claude. There was some reaction. You were moving on that
there,
one.
Didn't I? That didn't come right between my eyes. Elizabeth.
There's a pitch.
Is she a junior?
Yeah, she's a junior.
Playing second base for the Senators.
She's one of those trying to find a spot in the lineup for her. She's got some talent, got some ability. It's finding a spot where she can fit in and she can do some good things for the Senators.
Pretty athletic looking young lady. She's took some good cuts so far, so we'll see what she can deal out of this thing as the leadoff batter here.
She got in a lot last year as courtesy runners and pitch runners. So she spent a lot of time on the base path, but I don't know that she got to hit, as much. So
who's that, Grace?
Yeah, Gracie Abels comes up.
Batting second for the Senators is going to be Gracie Abels. Grace playing shortstop.
Gracie looks like a softball player. She's
Yes,
got
she
that
does.
softball player look.
Tall and lanky.
Ooh.
He's going to call her out.
He's going to call her out. Not so sure that Gracie didn't deserve that base there. First base looked like she kind of trapped it on the ground after she.
Yeah, I think if you looked at that, I don't know how close our cameras are, but if
Oh,
you
yeah,
looked
you
at it,
could-
the ball was definitely looked to me like it was on the ground.
You can go back and review that one at home. We're not going to show the replay here. We definitely could, but we're not going to show that one because we don't want.
Is that Tori?
No, that's Nicole Pittman.
Batting for the Senators will be Nicole Pittman.
And I finally got it right. I always call her Bailey. So her younger sister is Bailey, who I had in class. So it's one of those that I always call her the wrong sister.
Oh, okay.
I had trouble all last year. Every time she came up to bat, I called her Nicole, or I called her Bailey, and it wasn't Bailey. It's Nicole.
Nicole swings a pretty good bat.
Yeah, she's got some pop off the bat too.
Right.
And she had a heck of a half inning pitching there. You know, she had, you said she had 4 ground ball outs and a strikeout. So that's a good inning.
Well, they got me on. I messed up big time. So Tori Bolton's next.
Your book's going to be a mess. You're going to want to rip those pages out and throw those away after tonight.
I'm glad they don't count. And then it's going to be Lexus Brown.
It's funny how much work it actually takes to get in a game, and on a game like this is really almost like 4 games because it's a different lineup every inning, a different batter, different things going on. So it's a lot of work to keep your book straight and figure out who's in the game and who's where and who's doing what. So
batting for the Senators, number 10, Tori Bolton.
I'm sure Jeannie down there with her book, it's all perfect. And
I bet it is. No, I don't know how many pages she used. Really, you should have used a page for each inning.
Yeah.
Because when you start putting them underneath each other, and then 2 innings all you can get, and then you got to figure out who's in and who's not, because you got 2 girls right there one on top of each other, and it's way too fast for me. In a softball game. That's sad, ain't it?
Well, softball game, I'll tell you this. I've done softball games, I've done basketball games, I've done football games, I've done baseball games. And softball is one that I really enjoy because of the pace of the game. It moves quickly. It's not one that you have a whole lot of downtime to. You are talking, through the innings.
Oh, get back there, Nicole.
As we see Tori Bolton lay down a nice bunt.
And because we had no coverage over there,
right.
We got a base hit out of that. Now who's up?
This is Lexus Brown.
Batting for the Senators, 21, Lexus Brown.
There's a shot.
She's struggling. Yep.
Tori rounding third.
We'll score one.
Lexus is going to end up at second on a nice slide. That's something that you can't teach girls soon enough, is how to slide correctly into a base.
Correct.
There's times where, my daughter who has moved up to 10U, it's like.
Who we got? Who's that number?
Is that 8?
Gracie Hadley?
Yeah.
Batting for the Senators, number 6, Gracie Hadley.
My daughter, she plays softball and plays a lot of softball.
Mm-hmm.
And, teaching them to slide, you can never teach them soon enough. We were one of the few 8U teams around last year who had every girl in their lineup that would slide.
Yeah.
And it makes a difference. There are plays that you get called safe because you are able to slide. You're able to, get down and get under a tag.
And the sooner a young athlete learns how to slide straight into the base, the sooner they get proficient at that, then you can start teaching them hook slides and pop-up slides and all the different slides that come with the situations that the athlete sees the situation and goes for that slide. And so, and another thing too, these are fixed paces. They're fixed. They're not like, right now in the young kids, that base will kick away if you get down too late and things like that. But when you get up here, they don't move. And by them not moving, that's where you get the broken ankles and messed up knees. So.
And that's why it's important to teach the kids at a young age how to slide, so then they can do it, growing up.
Let's see this girl, Mary Santiago. Batting for the Senators, 17, Mary Santiago. So we got Mary in here. Mary's Mary's in this spot.
This is one of the foreign exchange students that West Washington has.
Yes. She's got a whole week.
Yeah,
of softball.
she's had a whole week of softball practice. So I don't believe she had ever played before.
No.
But she's one who was wanting to be a part of something, and softball is,
look
is
at
the
there.
thing to do.
Look at her. She got her in play.
There we go.
That's a good deal right there. That's good. I'm happy for her.
Yeah, she hit the ball. She got to run down the base. That's a great thing for her.
Sure enough, that was good. Okay, who's up
This
now?
This is E, Elizabeth Halls.
Okay, number 15, Elizabeth Hall's batting.
Makes it interesting when you have Elizabeth Halls and Elizabeth Walls
Yeah.
on the same team. That's why I went to just calling Halls that's batting now. I just call her E.
There you go.
There's
nice
a nice bunt.
Yep, and she's there.
She's going to be safe. Tori Bolton's going to score, and so is Alexis Brown. E's going to end up on second. Going to have an error on the play there at first, allowing her to advance around.
Right.
This is another one of the first-year players for the Senators.
Who's that?
I believe this is Sam Chonier.
Batting for the Senators, number 1, Sam Chonier.
First one, swing and a miss.
Ooh.
Coach Long coaching her up right now, saying, if you can't hit it, you got to pull back and not swing at it because that one counted as a strike.
There she went. She got to run. Run, honey. Okay.
Interesting situation there.
We went to the dugout, so that makes it an out.
Yep. This is Ashton Mercer.
Batting for the Senators, number 5, Ashton Mercer.
That was a pretty decent swing that, caught the bottom part of the top part of the ball and drove it down into the ground.
There's a good one. Well, she's taking a rip at it.
Yeah.
Get your rips. Are you ready for spring break?
Yes, I'm ready for spring break. I don't have any plans as of yet as what I'm doing. My mom does live in Florida and does live in Fort Myers, Florida. So that makes it nice. I can go down and visit her, and have a nice place for spring break.
That may work. Run, honey, run.
Oh, why did you stop?
She was the last batter, but
she was the last batter, but she should. If she would have run through that base, Coach Abels right now is telling her, run through the base, don't stop there.
Yeah,
so
she had that one if she puts on her running shoes.
Yep. Well, we are going to conclude this broadcast of West Washington Livestream. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, and I'd definitely like to thank Titan Williams first off, and then Claude Combs for filling in once Titan had to leave. It's a great opportunity to be able to broadcast these sports, and a great thing for the people at home who are watching.
It really is.
So I'd like to sign off and say thank you very much for listening and watching.